Hello, good morning everyone. Myself Rehana from Knowledge Institute of Nursing, Anand. So today in Child Health Nursing, we will see about small for dates of intrauterine growth retardation. So definition of these small for dates babies is with a birth weight of less than 10th percentile for their gestational age. So the normal percentile is 50 percentile, and when this percentile is between 10 to 90 percentile, so we are telling that baby is appropriate for their gestational age. But here we are looking in small for dates. So those babies whose weight is less than 10 percentile of for their gestational age, they are called as small for dates babies. They are also termed as small for gestational age, SGA, or light for dates, or intrauterine growth retardation, that is IUGR. Now classification. So this IUGR is classified into three. First is malnourished small for dates SFD babies or asymmetric IUGR. Then second is hypoplastic SFD babies or symmetric IUGR, and third is mixed group. So first we will see about malnourished SFD. So those babies who is having malnourished SFD, they appear long, thin, marasmic and alert, and they have less subcutaneous fat, their muscle mass is also poor, and excessive skin folds are present on their buttocks and thighs. Then HC, that is head circumference, is generally more than 3 centimeter than chest circumference. Here, head circumference is greater than chest circumference. In this asymmetric IUGR, there is growth restriction, but head circumference is normal. Only weight is affected in asymmetric IUGR. Then growth retardation is due to reduction in the size of the cells, but not the cell number, and probably occur during later part of gestation due to placental dysfunction. So in this malnourished SFD, the babies is having growth retardation, and the reason for the growth retardation is that there is reduction in the size of the cells. The size of the cell is reduced, but the not the number of the cells. And this reduction occur during the later part of gestation, means in late pregnancy, and this is due to placental dysfunction. Prognosis is better with appropriate nutritional rehabilitation. So if we are going for appropriate nutritional rehabilitation, we are providing good nutrients to that baby, then prognosis is better. This type is most common variety. So this malnourished SFD is most commonly found. Then second is hypoplastic SFD baby. So this is also called as symmetric intrauterine growth retardation. So these babies are small in all parameters including head size. See, in symmetric IUGR, what happens? Head circumference, length, weight, all these parameters are affected. So obviously, as these all parameters are affected, these babies look small in size, and including their head also. The number of the body cells are reduced. In asymmetric, we have seen that only the size of the cells are reduced, but in this symmetric IUGR, what happens? The number of the body cells are reduced. Then the growth retardation occurs in early part of gestation due to intrauterine infection, certain genetic and congenital disorder. So in this hypoplastic SFD, same here is also growth retardation, but the reason is that it is due to intrauterine infection, certain genetic and congenital disorders, and this growth retardation we can see in early part of gestation, that is in early pregnancy. Then prognosis is poor with permanent mental and physical growth retardation. So in this symmetric IUGR, the prognosis is poor as compared to asymmetric IUGR. Asymmetric IUGR, we can correct it by giving nutritional rehabilitation, but this hypoplastic SFD babies, the prognosis is poor, and the baby is left with permanent mental problems and physical growth retardation. Then third is mixed group. So mixed group means there is combination of these both malnourished and hypoplastic. So the babies in this mixed group neither look obviously malnourished nor grossly hypoplastic. Then there is reduction in the cell number and cell size. So in this mixed group, there is reduction in the cell number also and cell size also. Now ponderal index. So this is the formula to check whether the baby is in asymmetric IUGR or symmetric IUGR. So this formula is used, that is ponderal index, that is equal to weight in gram. We have to take the weight in gram, not in kg. Then we have to divide it by length in centimeter cube into 100. So if pi is less than 2, that is asymmetric IUGR, and if pi is greater than 2, that is symmetric IUGR. And if pi is greater than 2.5, then it indicates that it is term appropriate gestational age neonate. Then these are the causes for SFD babies. So the causes are, first is maternal factors, which include short stature mother, means those mothers whose length is small. Then primary or grand multipara, teenage pregnancy mothers, age of pregnancy is in 13 to 19 years. Then low pre-pregnant weight, maternal illness like anemia, malaria, etc. Complications of pregnancy like PIH, that is pregnancy-induced hypertension. Then if mother is smoking, taking alcohol, so these all are maternal factors. Then second is placental factors. So disorders of placental implantation, abruptio placenta. In abruptio placenta, what happens? The placenta detaches from the uterus. Then structural and functional abnormalities of placenta and umbilical cord. Then third is fetal factor. So if the baby is firstborn, if there is twin or multiple pregnancy, and if there is a intrauterine infection. Then fourth is environmental factors. So in that it includes poor socioeconomic status, nutritional habits, and cultural practices. So these are the causes for SFD babies. Now the common problems of SFD babies. So in SFD babies, we can see fetal hypoxia and intrapartum death due to placental dysfunction. So the function of the placenta is to provide oxygen to the to the fetus, then to remove carbon dioxide from the fetus, and also to extract waste. But as this placental function is disturbed, so there will not the placenta will not provide oxygen to the new fetus. So we can see fetal hypoxia, and because of this there can be also death of the fetus during pregnancy. Then severe birth asphyxia, meconium aspiration syndrome, then congenital malformation, inappropriate thermoregulation, hyperbilirubinemia, increased risk of infections, development of diabetes mellitus, hypertension, and coronary artery disease in adult life. So these are the problems that can be seen in SFD babies. Now management. So the principles of management of all LBW babies are common. So in all low birth weight babies, the management is same only. The prognosis is much better than preterm babies. So the prognosis of SFD babies is much better than the preterm babies. Important aspect of management are, in management you have to do efficient resuscitation, then you have to prevent hypothermia, because heat regulating mechanism is not very well developed in these SFD babies or low birth weight babies. You have to prevent hypothermia, and you have to give thermal protection, then you have to provide adequate fluids and feeds, then you have to monitor and only detect the complications with appropriate management of specific condition. So those who are SFD babies, they have the risk of getting congenital, that is cardiac disorders. So you have to early detect this, and you have to do appropriate management of these conditions. Then appropriate place of care for these babies are as follows. So if the birth weight of the baby is greater than 1.8 kg, then you can give home care also if the baby is well. Then if the birth weight is between 1.5 to 1.8 kg, then secondary level neonatal care unit is required, that is level 2 care is required. Then if the birth weight is less than 1.5 kg, then tertiary level neonatal care unit level 3 care is required. So this was all about the SFD babies. I hope that you all understood. Keep watching. Thank you.